This is DK Danny, a Punisher main with the firepower to annihilate, but right now he's missing game-changing opportunities. Every mistake is a bullet wasted, every misplay a chance thrown away. If he doesn't sharpen up, he is just a walking ult charge. Let's fix that. I will say this is a super annoying situation to be Punisher because you should be beaming everyone, but there's so many targets you don't know who to choose. Aiming can use work, but I think that you play a aim-intensive hero, I'm gonna say that all the time. I'll try to avoid mentioning it unless you go crazy. You do really terribly. But what's funny with heroes like Hela, Punisher, like hit scans is that aim is super important, and the better your aim is, the more doors open for you. Like you could have the exact same brain, you could be just as bad as everything you do, but if you hit 10% more shots, or 10% units more shots, so you go from 50 to 60%, you can do so many more things. For example, if you just hit 10% more shots here, 10% higher accuracy, you probably would have killed the Storm before and then the Human Torch with the exact same positioning and target priority that you've had so far. Yeah, even here. Okay, 10 more percent, you would have killed the Storm. Storms are easy to kill if you think of them as a Kovacs bot, like a pill, just floating. By the way, I struggle with Human Torch, but I've had it's been a lot easier to beam Storms because they're just, if I just imagine them as a floating pill and I just aim center of mass, they can't really move faster or slower. They're gonna be floating slowly anyways. Okay, now you know they have a Black Panther. Yep, good call overall. That is rough, but he got him. Tell him about strafe. Flying characters like Storm or Torch are so slow. Just good strafe will help you turn it on to aim all over the place. That's a good point too. You can counter strafe them as well. Is that what it's called? I forgot. Mirror. That's the word. But if they're moving to the left and right, you can also just move to the left and right yourself. If you just put your aim on top of them, if they strafe to the right and you walk to the right, your aim is still going to be on them. And you will beam them. That's called mirroring. And it's especially good. And you want to mirror a target that is less health than you, has a less damage output than you, or just isn't shooting back, basically. Do you advise to jump while shooting as Punisher? What's funny is you should never jump in a fight. That's a bad habit everyone has. For almost all characters and playstyles, if not all of them, you should never jump. It's actually bad, because jumping locks you in a predictable pattern, which makes you extremely easy to beam. If I'm struggling on somebody 1v1ing me and they going like this, left, like I'll be a bit shaky. But the second they jump, I lock in like a fucking aimbot because they can only move in one direction, and that's down and to the side. But people still jump all over the place, so. Smoke screen. I like that. That was not the decision I thought we were gonna go for there, but that was ambitious, and I'll give you props for that. I hate shooting Human Torch as a hit skin, by the way. It feels terrible. I think overall your target priority is right still. Even if you don't kill him, at least you're harassing him off the sky. Though ideally, if you would aim a little bit better, you would kill him as well. The problem is when he realizes he can get away with staying up in the sky while you're killing him. Then you're in real trouble. I think as a Punisher, I said this even in my guide, flyers might be one of your highest priorities. I think flyers... No, immediate threat as a Punisher. Your highest focus should be the immediate threat, always. But the second you don't have an immediate threat, like a Black Panther in your face, a tank in your face, or whatever, you should always shoot at flyers, and then you like DPS, healers, whatever you can. So far, I want to say your decision making has been pretty good. You just haven't gotten the kill. You also could have like tried to walk wider to harass him off of this. He has an insane habit that's really good that most people don't do. When he's not getting shot or targeted, he stops to shoot. I don't know if it's anyone to do that or you stop him most times, but it's really good. Oh, I do it too, sometimes too, yeah. If you're not used to mirroring, that is absolutely something you can do. If you're not getting shot at, you might as well stand still and just focus and just like slow it down a little bit. Focus on the fundamentals. Let's look at this fight again. So absolutely, I love that he's focusing the flyer here. That gives him an opening. Good job. Now, how does he take it from here? What happens to the rest of this fighter? Okay, so you're a little bit stuck in the flying moment there. That was... You need to shoot this. You should be the first person to shoot this, by the way. I think Punisher and Hela should be the ones to... People will disagree, but I think Punisher should always break the Onks first. It's the easiest for you out of all heroes. or the most of them, especially because they're hit scan. Okay, so you do turn on it, which is good. Good target priority again. Moon Knight is pressuring your backline, and he's kind of easy to kill. You can break that glass, by the way. Smart to switch to the shotgun here. You are within range. You have the wall hack. You were definitely overextended. You overchased it. I think you should have backed up after you then get the first kill. As a Punisher, the problem is like, I don't know if it's because of the way you watch me play Punisher, but usually you're gonna want to play with your behind your tanks, especially, and with your backline. Right now, you are the farthest out. You have a Spider-Man. He did die. He's the only one who was far ahead of you, and he was overextended too.
They hit a checkpoint. Now my
Yeah, this is, and you just walk out in the opening and get yourself killed. I think you just weren't focused there. At the very least, you're eliminating the angles here. You're thinking it's 1v1s, which I think is good. Again, that I will give props to that, right? You're focusing the flyers, which is something a lot of people don't do. And again, the way you're cutting off the angles. Notice how he's always fighting one person at a time. He's getting shot at by one person at a time. Except that one time where he got himself killed standing in the middle of 6 people. But like, he's always positioning himself. Like, there's only one against one. I don't know if it's an intentional thing he's doing, but it's something I want to highlight. It's a very good lesson to learn for all you guys. Not as much there, but it's okay. It worked out. It was just getting into the field of view for a little bit. What I could have done here, okay, guys. I'm gonna give you guys a shout here. They have a mag, so you probably want to get full value from your ult here, but I would actually zipline up on this and ult. Just to open up the map. It's a really stupid decision, and you need... I could get away with it. I don't know if everyone could, but if you really want to make a play here, I would do that. I would get up on it. I would try taking that high ground either way, but with an ultimate, you could...
I am ready to put on a show!
But your team worked out. You made it work. That was a waste of an ult. You didn't into ult here.
Jury!
The thing is with Punisher, especially in low elo, that we learned when we were doing the solo to GM, is that, or Celestial later on, is that you have a pretty low impact because of your low burst damage. Your shotgun has high burst damage, which is good for impact. Your ultimate has good impact, but like in general, you're just providing consistent damage and you're at the mercy of your team. Cutting space for yourself and ulting, or cutting space for yourself like you could have done by sipping up there, will let you have somewhat of an impact as well. And this ult was a throw because you didn't have to use it. It's so awkward because you don't have like... You have a 4. I feel like it doesn't tank that much. This is not a terrible ult turret because you are shooting them. You can harass them here. They have to walk up here. I don't hate it. I sort of feel like you're sitting on it a little bit too long now. Uncomfortably long. Okay, they didn't even step on the point. You're fine. But that was cutting it close. If they ran in there, you would have been animation locked when it came out. What's really funny about that is if I as a Punisher ult at this point and Magneto ults, I just stop shooting. And then he just stares at me like I'm an idiot. Or like he's an idiot, like a dummy. And then I just keep shooting after. Or what I do this one more often, is I shoot at him a little bit to the point where he thinks I'm gonna crack it. And then I just stop shooting. So I blue ball him a little bit. I tug his dick a little bit and then I let go. Right? And he just fucking splooges all over me. But because he has a little bit of charge on that meatball, he's gonna end up throwing it without a full charge. He's not gonna kill anyone. He does like half my health and then I'm fine. That was nice. Probably get a shotgun at this range, but I'm nitpicking. This is really nice. You get the point pushed up here. They kind of threw by being here. I wonder how he gets lost this game. So far, you get kind of rolling them. Maybe they didn't lose it. That was nice. That was a bossy. You could probably turret here again, honestly. Like, I like the idea of just putting the turret, especially because you don't have like a proper tank. Like, it's a good way for you to take some space. It will force them back, or at least like give you a little bit more health so you can just kind of harass them off. But you could try to take a high ground here. You could take like this high ground here. This one is a bit questionable, but this one for sure, and just shoot down on them and harass them. It's up to you though. It's a bit risky. They have Hela. They could harass you, but yeah, Moon Knight's kind of try to do it. I like this. If your team also shot that, it would have been perfect. I think you ended up like cutting off like 1 or 2 shots, but I think the problem is so far, generally speaking, this guy's in battle rank. This is gold. I think the problem is so far is he's being the living embodiment of something I've talked about before, where you have a character has a role play, where you have things that you're expected to do that just like it's the bare minimum, right? And then you have the high impact plays. The problem with Punisher is you need a high impact. If you want to climb, you need high impact plays. I haven't seen any big ultimates. I haven't seen any space taking. I haven't seen any shotgun flanks or picks. He's just been sitting back and shooting it with his assault rifle, which isn't terrible. He's doing his job, but you're not going to win any games with that. I don't hate this turret. That's actually nice. Right, like he hasn't used his shotgun. And he used one ultimate, which was a bad place. Ooh, that's a reset. He's gonna ult this, isn't he? Prove me wrong, prove me wrong, prove me wrong. Don't ult this, please, I beg you, Digidani. I know you want to, but their spawn is right there. You lost 2 people. You can't turn this. You're not him. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's actually getting a lot of peel, but I still don't think you should do it. That 4 kind of threw. He just got us off his own sideline. No, you definitely shouldn't do it. Okay. Good trigger control. You did not use that ultimate. I think you guys should have backed up there though, because that fight was lost a while ago. The shotgun is Punisher's perfect high impact play because you can 2-tap anyone. If you play Punisher as a flanker, you can 2-tap anyone basically and supports, and you can shred tanks. Everyone's just playing so safe or playing roll. Nobody's like going crazy style. If you have 6 people just playing roll and just being passive and doing the bare minimum and nobody going crazy style, then you're not gonna win. You need someone to go crazy style. And Punisher's only ability to do so, other than like getting a good pick with his shotgun, is with his ultimate. You need to contest this. This you could have, you don't have to use zipline. Where do you use a zipline? Out of spawn, I assume?
You stop them in their tracks.
You gotta work on those lineups. If you shotgun duel this Moon Knight, you win. Moon Knight is so easy to kill with a shotgun, because he has such a big, easy hitbox. You guys should not be fighting here though, you're -2. Honestly, you could have just sat back and spawned and waited for them to get the hint. You have the zip? Okay, I wasn't sure. This ultimate, you're -2 still. What was the goal of this ult? Okay, let's just see what happens. Was your goal killing a Moon Knight and dying? Because then you got it. I think you shouldn't have ulted here. You need a clear goal, I think. And I think picking one guy as overextended is probably not the play for the goal. Let me check your cooldowns again. At this rate, you would have had your zipline. Again, you were -2. I think you could have just held your zipline. Or waited for you to have it, zipline in on the Moon Knight, 2-tap him with the shotgun, then you have a great high ground. You can use your ultimate from, and if they haven't fallen back, you can destroy the backline. And you would have probably, maybe not won the game off of it, but it would have opened up the game for you guys to snowball it into a win.
A nice deep freeze.
Alright, let's see how you do this going back. You're still minus, man. You guys are staggering. I know it's hard to coordinate stuff in gold, but if you could just coordinate here, that would make such a difference. You still want this high ground. You want this high ground so bad. These guys are outside of your effective range. You're not going to get any meaningful damage here anyways. Better off getting this high ground. And they can break the squids, you can harass them a little bit. Or something. This just hurts to watch.
I'm good to go.
You're minus. You were still minus, so obviously, so you shouldn't push up yet, but it's just so sad to see you just stand here. Role playing. Here we go. We're moving up a bit. I do like these smoke grenades. He got 1 kill with it before. I want to give him props for that. That's fun to see. It feels so good when you hit it. Oh, this is... You walk backwards here. You walk backwards here. You do not walk forward. You walk backwards.
Deep freeze.
4. This hurts on so many levels. I think I just watched 5 throws, one after another, in 2 seconds. I just watched... That must have been a world record. It's just that time of the game. Everyone just clicks Q and maybe something will happen. That 3 seconds encapsulated gold so well. Yeah, they have 4... Like, just look at this shit. They have an ult, they put the invis ult down, everyone's just back up, they just threw that ultimate, you don't need to invest anything. Alright, so they kind of get the idea. Force starts walking backwards, Punisher starts walking backwards, I think the rest of the team also kind of does. They get sucked in, or he gets pushed back, they get sucked in. It's valid to get sucked in by the invisible woman. And then for some reason, Namor ults. Okay, I guess the Namor ult is still fine at this point. They already used Invis ult, but they were down 1, and this is a perfect place. But then still the Invis ult comes out. Magneto ult comes out. I don't even know why. He throws it immediately, so it has no charge on it. It doesn't do anything. Luna ults. And then everyone just walks up. I can see the reason everyone ulted. But it still felt like everyone it was just stacking ults, and it just came down to like whoever. And if one team used fewer ults, I think they would have ended up winning, because then it got to this fight here. And I believe
86 to the arc. The moon haunt.
I feel like you need more ziplines. Somebody mentioned it before. Like you did 1 zipline the whole game. Alright, they're on the defense now. So overall, I'd say again, he wasn't making big high impact plays. He did play his role. On attack, you need to do impact plays. And then everything kind of fell apart in the last point there. And he didn't really like take space or play as proactively as he needed to. I don't hate this location, though I would probably do this from high ground instead. Personally. You can get a lot of spam shots from high ground here. This turret. You overcommitted him. You ended up being front line. Yeah, your 4 died. I think when your 4 died, your teammates got the... Look at that. 5-second difference. Your 4 dies. Everyone's kind of walking backwards, but you're staying. You don't have a tank at all here now. You need to just walk backwards and reset. You end up dying for this. Punisher is one of those heroes that, generally speaking, you are very team reliant, and you're not actually a tank. So if you're in the front line, you're big and chunky. If you're in the front line, you're gonna end up dying very easily.
Heavy weapons. I'm in love.
I like the cold.
This looks like you watch my guide, Danny. I don't hate this, because you do some poke and build some ult here. But I think you might have overstayed here, because now they're looking at you to break your turret, you might die here. You ended up being fine, but that was risky. Wait, that's low-key. Okay, that's going into my memory bank. That's low-key insane. Extremely niche. You can't get hooked through that. You could actually step in closer here and shotgun him, and you would absolutely roll him with a shotgun here. You need to use your shotgun more, Danny. I don't think I've seen you even click it. It's almost a better play no matter what. Absolutely. Talk about it.
I like the cold. I am ready to put on a show.
Okay, ult there, ult there, ult. Let's go. It's way too late. But maybe it's okay. It's working out, it's working out. It didn't work out. Was that 5 seconds you could have ulted? Even when their Luna was up, because you have a Luna as well, you actually kill people through a Luna ult. Especially if you get some headshots in there. If you get a little bit of damage boost, especially. Either if they get cut off by shields or like LOS from their Luna or something like that. You can also jump up on the high ground here. It's just, you didn't ult. You should have ulted. It's a shame.
I'm good to go.
Right here is when I would have clicked Q. Literally right here. But maybe you'll be doubting a bit, so you didn't want to do it. When I saw my Luna ulted, that's the second time I would have clicked Q. So there's two times you should have clicked Q that you didn't. And every second after that, you're throwing. Also, you needed to kill the turrets here. They just sit in there. At least you got them there, but at that point, they went down on their own. I do like that you killed the Winter Soldier. It just didn't matter. Did you know what sucks too is if you ulted after the Magneto or rather after your Luna ulted, the Moon Knight ult wouldn't even have done anything, I think. Depending on RNG, you might have gotten unlucky on it, but we probably would have survived it. Oh, he's typing in chat. I'm sure he's saying some nice things right now.
I'm hurt.
I'm sure he's telling them how he regrets not pressing Q earlier and that he apologizes for that.
Push those squids for you.
I suck.
What? Oh, now he's typing something else, I guess. Setting up a plan.
Shields up.
Let's typing more playing. Get a voice get a mic and get on voice chat, bro. That's what I will say. I think a lot of people would do better if they got voice chat. This is like the perfect one because if he wouldn't have chatted, he could have like had done more maybe.
I'm hurt, am I? Almost.
I would go for splash damage here. I would shoot the ground here. Just a small tip. Go for a splash. Try not to go for direct hits with Punisher. I know it gives you twice the damage. It's like headshotting. But especially at this range, you're usually better off just trying to get like poke
There. Don't turn
with the splash. Shoot the wall behind. Maybe not the wall. It's an awkward angle to use this from. If they were here, the turret would be perfect because then you're gonna get easy splash damage. Now you don't. I will say I like that you're playing with the backline here. I said you needed to do that, and you've been doing that.
disappear.
Hostiles up front.
I am ready to put on a show.
You could challenge with a shotgun. I probably would have done that. You have your ult though. Now they Luna ulted. You might want to ult here, but you shouldn't. You cannot do a single thing with an ultimate. At best, it's your shotgun here. This looks like a lost fight to me. I wouldn't even invest anything at this point.
Judge.
He's a paying customer. He's a paying customer.
Jury. Executioner.
Paying customer. Why is Luna ulting? Luna wouldn't have ulted if he didn't ult there. Yeah, definitely wouldn't. Or I would hope so. But he also would have died probably at that point. This was a reset for him through. Literally the other team did this mistake as well, and now these guys are doing it. When you lose this point, you need to get the fuck out. Don't stay in this spot because they spawn on your right. You literally have Moon Knight right here spawning. He can just shoot you in the asshole. You play here, you will lose. You don't even have cover. It doesn't make sense. Also, I don't know why he ulted, but you know, we're not here to watch him. We're here to watch Danny. People usually respond to you just standing still and looking at them. This is just unfortunate. You do zipline to contest him, but the Ankh yoinks you back. And I think you get rattled and don't realize what happens and you die. But even if you did, I don't think you would have been able to do much. That is just unfortunate. Though you could just retake the same zipline.
Need some ranged firepower.
I don't hate this spot. I like this. I would shoot right there. Shoot right there, over there. It's not terrible. As long as you keep hitting anyone.
We're finding our triple KO.
Hey, it worked out for him. Shouldn't even comment. Yeah, like I don't know why he ulted there. That was a nice turret. I like the turret spot.
Disappear.
You don't need to look far to see me explain that concept. Maybe not that well, but...
Judge, jury.
What is this? Huh?
Executioner!
I am ready to put on a show.
There's a concept I want to explain to you Red space. Oh, I mentioned it on one of Magneto ones. Red space, green space, yellow space. These are colors I've made up, and I don't think in the colors, but the concept remains the same. When you ultimate as a Punisher, anything within your LOS becomes red space. I don't have red here for some reason, but pink works. Anyone in this area here, if they step in here, they will get fucking blasted. Obviously, an ult gives you green space for the enemy team. They stay in here, they're in green space, they're chilling. And anything in between, like the no man's land, that's like the yellow space, like here. They can take some damage, but it's not that bad. The reason I'm mentioning this is because you have no reason to ult here. You're not shutting them off or anything. Also, additionally, if you would have, instead of ulting here, if you would have taken this high ground, and this is something you could have done like 4 or 5 times this game. You go take this high ground, you go take this high ground, you go take that high ground. One of these high grounds, doesn't matter which. The farther out, the riskier they are. And you will need your team to help you a little bit. The more red space you can create. And when they're in red space, you will fry them. And they will not be able to shoot back usually. If you overdo it, you're gonna die for it, so you know. But if you did it, if you ulted from here, this will be red space, and you have red space like in here basically. If they stay anywhere here, they were gonna get fucking melted. Sure, they have the ult, but like when the ult goes down, you shouldn't ult when their ult is up. Like, what are you gonna do? But assuming it is in there, if you ult from here, this whole area would be red space, but it would actually be so deep that they would just trade and kill you. This would be a terrible ultimate. Unless your team was like bubbling you and helping you. I would not suggest doing this unless you know the enemy team is fully distracted. They would probably turn on you and kill you. Ideal would probably be here. But we're just expanding the concept. And if you got up, if you did like a zipline, you jumped here and ulted, that might actually be better low key because they're not even looking your way. If you would ult here compared to this one. Like if you were ult from this side, then this will all be red space. But not only that, it will be a pincer because your teammates will be pressuring from this side while you'll be pressuring from that side. So they have to look at your team. They can't just turn and shoot you. In addition to that, their tanks, their front line is right here. Their supports are just jerking off in the back line here. You'd kill them for free. But by ulting all the way back here, you do none of that. And you just like, it's a zoning ult. They're not going to walk out of their ultimate now. And you could have done this so many times. I've mentioned it so many times. Like you can literally see how the space evolves. It's just so beautiful. Now that you understand the concept, look at how the space evolves. You ult, you move forward. Red space. This is green. Or yellow or green. Red. Oh, yeah, okay. This is actually the perfect example of this. Punisher ult is so good for this. Look at that. Red space, green space. I don't have the color. You walk a bit more forward. You walk a little bit more forward. Look how they're wrapping. As you wrap this way, they wrap that way. They still have green space, so they just keep walking this way. You're dealing damage to the only one you can see, but all of them are wrapping almost like perfectly closer and closer to the wall as you take a wider swing. Look at that. And now they're all standing in a line here. And you've done nothing because you created space where none was necessary.
To put on a show.
And then when the pressure got too high, the Luna ulted. Otter.coach is the place you order. That is probably the best example of red space, green space I've seen so far. If this doesn't help you guys understand it, I don't know what will. Anyways, that ultimate was terrible. In conclusion. So if you think space to a certain extent as a Punisher, you will actually have way better results. So yeah, in conclusion, space. Be more proactive, make more impact plays. Playing role is okay, you did some good choices. But if you don't make impact plays, if you don't make the right impact plays, if you don't cut your losses when you need to, you're going to have no impact on the outcome of the game, and you will not necessarily lose, but you won't win either. And if you win, it's because your teammates carried you over the finish line more than anything else.